Welcome back to
Hello.
Boston Baits, everybody.
Yes.
We have a more interesting episode today for you all.
Yes, this is not a standard episode. This is a celebration for both
Yay!
us and for all of you amazing, amazing degenerates.
There's so many.
There is 250, more than 250, but we're just going to round down a little bit. 250 of you lovely degenerates that have taken the pledge to go with us on this weird and awesome journey
Of degeneracy.
that we're still going on.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, it has been almost a year since we've started this podcast.
Yeah, we and the main reason we started this podcast is because we got really. We won't say the word, but I'll say the thing that people use: the Backstreet Boys reunion tour.
Yep.
Yeah, we started it because of that, which is almost has been going on for a year now, which is why we haven't been going outside and all that stuff. Working from home and whatnot. But that kind of thing allowed us to. We're like, what do we do? We're freaking bored as hell.
Oh, there was no real video games coming out around that time. Anime was still, it was getting its uphill swing still. And,
Although 2020 was boring though for anime, a lot of it.
it was, except for like a few special hits, but that's for another time. But we decided to watch a certain anime upon both my recommendation and a few other AniTubers' recommendations. Interspecies Reviewers.
We heard about it and we're like, this sounds amazing.
I had read the first few chapters of the manga, and I'm like, Spencer, we need to watch this.
And then it was like, is this? And we watched specifically the uncensored version, and we're like, oh, this is great. And we're like, because what surprises about the show and all of it is how different all the different Monster Girls were. And I'm like, this could be a podcast. And,
yeah, we like, as the characters were describing their experiences with each Monster Girl, me and Spencer gave our own offhand remarks about it, and then I decided to say, hey, why don't we just make a podcast about this?
And I was like, that's a good idea.
And here we are, a year later.
But it's crazy to see how many people, especially recently, this really blew up, which is really nice to see.
Yes, hello, all the people from Reddit that have decided to check us out as well. Your support also does us a huge favor.
Yes.
And it was as well as the support of all of the artists we have commissioned in this past year.
That was my idea for the artist thing, because I thought it would be interesting to have, because I feel like having a different artist do something each time it's something small and something really cool to do.
Yeah.
And so each episode isn't the exact same artist, and isn't the exact same every time we have someone new doing it, which, I don't know, visually I think is interesting, and I always look for new artists all the time.
Yep.
So,
occasionally we bring in the same artist, but it's usually every now and then, with the occasional thing of having them back to back, like we did with the Baroth and Neko girl.
Mm-hmm. We have our personal favorites, but it's also down to, like I've mentioned this before, but our very first episode was by a guy named Jack, and he's been a special guest as well on our podcast as well, and I think we should get him back here soon.
We should at some point, but yeah, he was a special guest for, I remember, Elf Girl, Centipede Girl, and one other episode.
I don't remember.
Forget.
But I know we get him back now and again because it's cool to see he was a small time artist when I first contacted him for the first episode, and now he's blown up. It is amazing how much he's blown up. It's a full-time job for him now.
Even such popular personalities as one Peach Saliva and Sayman Art follow him now.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, wow.
I'm like, bro, you're a champ. And that's kind of what we like to do with each artist, is get like maybe people who are less known and get them into the podcast so they can really show what they can do.
Yeah.
Which I always thought was cool.
Yeah, it's like that. That's why for the Bear Girl episode, that's why I got a friend of mine, Shora Art, to do the Bear Girl episode, because I know he is not as well known in art communities and whatnot, but he does good stuff. I like his stuff.
Yeah.
So I decided to commission him for the Bear Girl, and I think he did a good job.
Yeah, like I get a lot of artists, but there's one that I got recently who did the Cowgirl.
Yes.
And did the Legiana girl as well.
Mm-hmm.
I off the top of my head, without looking at it, I can't. Irma, thank you. He, she, I don't know, but they do great work.
Yes.
I'm like, I look at their artwork, I'm like, oh, you know, that's expensive looking, and we'll go into that as well. But it was, I looked at it, I'm like, are you kidding me? For the prices for how well they do it, it is amazing.
It's always
amazing.
It's so interesting seeing that kind of thing, but
and that's another thing I wanted to talk about with the commission stuff.
Yes.
So we always try to go for affordable kind of stuff, not because, I guess cheap. Well, I guess we are kind of cheap, but we're not. You know, like we're a little cheap.
Me and Spencer both have full-time, or I have a full-time job. Spencer, is your job considered full-time? I forget at this point.
Yes.
Okay.
I work from home so it counts as full-time.
What's it? Up until today, as of recording this, I used to work at Amazon, so I had to go in every day at like 1 a.m. and work until noon.
Yeah.
But
so the reason why we would always go for kind of like cheap, not cheap. Here's the thing, right? We always look for affordable, good prices, but we understood, like I say, someone was like, hey, for this, it's this much. And I'm like, okay, yeah. And then sometimes, like, I think the max I've spent on stuff is like $40 for a commission.
Yeah, I think for one commission in particular, I spent $50, and that was for, I want to say that was the Scorpion Girl episode.
Yeah. And let me say, all these artists deserve more than what we give them.
Yes, we always encourage you guys to check out these artists,
because we want them to succeed and get paid more. But like,
yes,
obviously for the podcast, we have to pay a lot of different artists for different stuff, and me and Trevor split it up.
Yep, we either split up the cost of individual commissions, or we just go, okay, I'll get these Monster Girls for these episodes, and you can get the rest of the Monster Girls for these episodes, and that's usually how we divvy it up. But we're getting too much into behind the scenes. We are here, or as the title probably explains, we're gonna open up a Q&A session.
Yes.
Be sure to comment on this video any questions you have about the podcast, anything we haven't talked about behind the scenes, anything like personally about me or Spencer here. Just really anything at all for questions. We don't care. We're open to questions.
Yeah. Also, if you guys want us to talk about a monster girl that either won't get its own episode, like say you like a monster girl from, or like kind of creature girl from a video game that we aren't aware of.
Yeah, or even like an anime or from a tabletop lore or whatever thing.
And you were like, hey, what do you think about this? You know, like Cthulhu Girl, which I think is a monster girl. Goodness.
Yeah.
I think is one we've talked about as well.
We've talked about the Cthulhu mythos with the Shoggoths.
Yes, but that kind of thing. If there's something, like there's just anything, honestly.
Yes, we are opening the floor to you lovely degenerates to get a bit of a peek behind the curtain, and just to kind of, see what you guys think, see what you guys are interested in, whatever. Don't matter.
So I want to thank you all so much for listening. And I say this every time because it's true, is we have a limited amount of time on this world, on this earth, and you choose to spend it by listening to us talk about Monster Girls and talk about it in the comments, and it means a lot to us.
Yes. Literally, I am very happy that each and every one of you spend like the 15 to 20 minutes of your day listening to us two like Bumble Hicks. Just
Bumble Hicks.
That's the only thing I could think of. Okay, listen to us talk about our depravity with Monster Girls. It is like you have no idea, like how humbling that is.
Yeah, and just seeing people being like, I found this, and I can't wait to binge it, and it makes me go, I'm like, yeah, they're going to watch all the episodes, and then I also go, oh no. That's a lot of episodes.
Yeah, it is, but that's why I've made a playlist for the completed season 1, and then once season 2 completes, I will make a playlist of that.
Yes. So I want to thank you all so much again for listening. I think that'll call for this special episode and Q&A of thank you so much for listening.
Yes, we will get to answering questions, I would say roughly in about a week's time, maybe. We'll see. Just depends on how many questions come in and when we have the time to record it.
We may make like maybe one episode of like whatever Monster Girl and then have like a special ending bit to it. Who knows? Yes. Maybe make our own special episode and comes out on a unique day on regular to our release schedule. Also, I also wanted to say what our release schedule is because I don't know if anyone's ever picked up on it.
Yeah,
we basically just do Monday, Friday.
Yep, I have the videos scheduled Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time here in the U.S.
Yep.
Why 2 p.m. Specifically? Because that's usually when I'm about to fall asleep after working at Amazon. But since I'm no longer working there, that's not going to change. I'm still going to keep it at 2 p.m. But yeah.
Yep, and we always post it, and we always.
I always tweet it out. I've never mentioned this. Our podcasts are available on Spotify.
Yeah.
They're available on iTunes, the Google Play Store. It's available at a lot of places.
And we get views on that, right, huh?
Yeah, we do. We get like 20-ish views on that. But yeah, if you ever don't want to, if for whatever reason you just want the audio version, and then I always post the Monster Girl as the thumbnail for that particular episode, be sure to like check us out on like all those different like streaming apps. If you want to take us on the go, if you want to get in, if you're taking your coworker to work one day and you want to make them feel really awkward or forge a new bond by fire, then there you go. Listen to us in the car.
Absolutely. Oh God. Chaz, if your friend is a real degenerate, put this on.
Yeah, pretty much.
Also, I want to say one real quick thing. So we had an episode recently. Get a YouTube warning. We didn't get a strike. It was really funny.
Yeah, it was a warning.
It was a warning. It was like your thumbnail is too lewd. I'm like, have you looked at the other ones? This is the least lewd, and you can find the one. It's the one I edited to say too hot for YouTube.
It is the Tentacle Girl episode, which got 1,800 views before it got taken down.
And I'm like, God damn! And I'm like, why did this get taken down? And we have other things that are so much worse than this. But I think it was the only thing I could think of is it didn't have, like, I guess the Plant Girl didn't have. You can go on our Twitter and the artist's Twitter and see it uncensored.
Yes.
How it was, but I don't know why it freaked out like it did.
Yeah. I believe if you go to the Tentacle Girl episode that's up now, the Twitter of the person who made the commission, that link is still viable. It brings you to their their Twitter page, and I'm sure if you just go through media, you'll be able to find the Monster Mates Tentacle Girl commission real easily. Nice work as always.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we'll call it there.
Yes.
I want to thank you all again. Thank you all so much for listening. It means the world to us.
Yes, and until then, we excitedly wait for your questions, and be sure to stay tuned for the next episode.
Bye.